Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing a video regarding brushes. I've gotten a lot of questions asking me what brushes I use to create my looks. There are many different brushes you can use, but I'm just going to do a video really quickly regarding the basic brushes that you need for an everyday eye look or face look. So we're going to start with the face. Excuse my brushes, they are a little dirty, but I did want to film this video for you guys and I wanted to get it out of the way, and this weekend I clean my brushes. But I'm going to film the video anyway. So the first brush you want to have is for your foundation, and you want to have a flat top kabuki brush. That's what this is called, the flat top kabuki brush. As you can see, it's flat, it's a little round, it's dense, and it's synthetic. So what it is it's synthetic because it doesn't absorb all of your foundation. If you get a regular human hair brush or any of those brushes that are non-synthetic, it will absorb most of your product, and then you would have to keep applying product to the brush, to your hand, and the brush is just soaking up more of your product as opposed to it getting on your face. So that's what this is, a flat top kabuki brush. Some people use other things to apply their foundation. Some people use a beauty blender. You can definitely use a beauty blender, a damp beauty blender, because that will also not soak up most of your product. It will thin out your foundation a little bit, but it does apply a flawless look, this beauty blender. So you can use a beauty blender or you can use a flat top kabuki brush. Some people also use a face brush, a round face brush. You can use this face brush. I use this face brush for my contouring, but you can also use this face brush, any face brush, as long as it's a densely packed face brush. You can use it for your foundation. I have several of them. I use this one. This one's a little bit fluffier, a little bit lighter. I have a few flat top kabuki brushes, but this one is much more fluffier, and you can see it's nice and fluffy. So there, you can use any of these face brushes to apply your foundation. After the foundation, you want to apply your powder to set your foundation. So you need a fluffy powder brush to set your foundation. This is a Real Techniques fluffy powder brush, and you need this just so that it could be a little bit lighter and not so heavy when you add your powder, your pressed powder, to set your foundation. So you can use this fluffy. Morphe has some. Real Techniques, I think, are the better brushes, but you can get, as long as it's a fluffy powder brush, it should set your face powder to set your foundation perfectly. Then you want to use a blush brush. This is also a Real Techniques blush brush. You can see it's nice and soft, fluffy. It doesn't pick up too much of the product because you can use it either angle. You can use the very tip, or you can use the outer edges, but it's very soft and it's fluffy as well. So you can use a powder brush to set your foundation. I have a few. Sorry. You can use this one. There's a few that you can use to actually apply your blush. So this is a blush brush, and you definitely need a blush brush. I have to use my highlighter. You can use a stipple brush, which I use sometimes a stipple brush to do it. Most of the time I use a stipple brush. You can also use this to set your foundation. This is from MAC, but you can also use this to set your foundation. But I use this right now to apply my highlight up here. Or you can use a fan brush to set your highlight. A fan brush. This is from Morphe. This is a nice fluffy, so you can use it to apply your highlight like such. I use this pointed detailing face brush to set my under eye concealer. You see how it fits right up in there? This is from e.l.f. and I just dab it in my powder, and then I just push it because it sits right there and it fits right up in that corner without making too much of a mess, too much of a fuss. So that's what this is, this pointed detail brush, small tapered brush from e.l.f. I will list all the brushes below as well, and if I can find the link, I'll put the link in as well. So now let's move on to what I use for my eyes. There are several brushes that I use for my eyes, but just for the basics, if you want to apply a basic application of shadows, a little bit of transition, not too much for a beginner, you definitely need, I'll put it down, I don't need that one. You definitely need a fluffy, this is from Sigma. It's a blending brush, but it's a fluffy blending brush. This brush, we'll discuss it. I hate it now. When I first got it, I loved it, but I hate it now because it sheds like a mother. But you definitely need a fluffy blending brush to apply the transition color, to get it here, right up in there. I have several different ones. I have this one from Morphe. I have the smaller version of it, this one. I have this one from Real Techniques. I have a few, but they basically are for these are for, this one right here is for tighter, like in the crease, but the fluffier ones, like this one from Morphe as well, this one is a detailed one to get in there, and it's just to create the transition and get that shadow effect, which layers your eyeshadow. So that's what the brushes are, the different brushes. If you want to get a good smoke, you want to layer it. If it looks more like a shadow, if you layer it, so you want to start with a fluffy brush on the outer, and then you go in with a smaller brush on the inner, as I've done here, right here, right in that crease, because you see it's lighter here, then it gets a little bit darker. You want to take the darker colors, and then as the darker you go down, the more layered it looks. So when you get down to the really dark part right here, you're going to use this smaller one, and you're just going to feather it up in there, feather it in there. So you have different fluffy blending brushes, and those are blending brushes. And the key to a great blended look, a key to a great eyeshadow look is a blend, a really good blend. You want to blend till you can't blend no more. You don't want to see any harsh creases. You don't want to see any harsh lines. So the next brush I use, I have several of these. This is a flat brush to apply my eyeshadow right on the lid. You want to take it and pat it, put the product on, pat it in, and get it right where you want it. You can use this one from e.l.f. I have this one from MAC. I also have this one, a smaller one for just you want to get it up in there. Smaller one from MAC also. I have this one from MAC. There's a few that I have in here that you want, and then you want to have several different ones. This is a smaller one for you want to really get that detail in there for that look. You also want to have a flat, this is for your lash line down here, to just sit the color right there. I just set that brown. If you watch the video for this look, you see me sit it right there, as opposed to blending it in and blending it in. You want to have a brush for your eyeliner. I use this one from MAC, or I'll use this one from I think this one is Coastal Scents. This pointed one, I just started using it. I used it for this look, and it did a pretty decent job. But you can use this one. This is from Anastasia Beverly Hills, a flat one. But any angled brush you want to use to get your eyeliner on, depending on what look you want. You want to get that line straight. You can also use the brushes, the felt tip brushes that come in with the eyeliner. It's up to you, however you want to apply it. Also, I forgot, you want to have a brush like this for either your concealer or your foundation. It's flat, and you can just paint it on and move it around. Just paint it and move it wherever you want to put it. You can also have a really teeny brush like this. I got this from Real Techniques also, and I use this for under here, to get that color right up in under there and move it around and smoke it out really nicely under the eye. Yeah, so that is my basic. Oh, if you're doing your eyebrows, for if you want to do your eyebrows, you want to have one of these also. This is from Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is to apply if you're using powder or if you're using a liquid, if you're using the dip brow pomade, you definitely want to have an angled brush. You can get it from Anastasia Beverly Hills. Everybody sells angled brushes now. This one is from Real Techniques. I don't use it because it's too fluffy. It's too fat, as you can see. It's not like really, really thin. It's really, really fluffy. And this one is like, you see the difference? The density. It's a lot. This is a lot thinner and more precise. This one is a little bit fluffy, so that's why I don't use that one. But Real Techniques has really good brushes. And you also want to have a spoolie, and you want to have a spoolie so that you can clean up your eyebrows, get your eyebrows as straight as possible, right? Straight as possible. And then you do your eyelashes. You want to get your eyelash, I said eyebrows. You want to get your eyebrows straight as possible, and then you can apply your powder or your whatever it is that you put, your pomade, whatever it is you want to put on. You want to also have, sometimes people use this little kabuki brush. I got this from Elf. It's so soft to apply their powder. You can do that as well. Any brush that you prefer to use is great for you. Just know how to work it. I also use these little sponges. This one's dirty, but I have a few cleaner ones in here. This is where I keep all my brushes. So I have some in there. I have a bunch. And I just use this to set my powder as well, like my under eye powder, just like that and like that. My translucent powder, just to set it in place and have it there. You also want to have handy some Q-tips to clean up anything that you possibly mess up your under eye. Sometimes you're not really good with putting on eyeliner and you get some all over the place. You want to have a Q-tip available to clean it up. But those are the basic brushes that you can use. As long as you have the basics for your eyes, a flat brush, a shader brush, an eyeliner brush, and a fluffy brush, you can create the perfect look for your face. So you can shop around. You can use the link below for the Coastal Scents ones. They're pretty affordable and they work great. Thanks for coming back again. Hopefully this video was helpful for the beginner and the type of brushes that you need to use. I love you guys. Stay beautiful, stay blessed, and I'll see you next time. Oh, and I just wanted to let you guys know that the best tool that you have for applying your makeup, you've been living with them all your life, your fingers. You can apply your eyeshadow with your fingers. You can apply your foundation with your fingers. You can blend them out. Your fingers help warm up the product and adhere better and give it a smoother application. So you can definitely also, if you don't have any brushes or you don't have the brushes you need for a basic look, you can definitely use your fingers and you walk around with them every day, and these are the best tools that you can use to apply your makeup. So again, I hope this was very, very helpful. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Please comment, rate, and subscribe. I hope this video was very helpful. And don't forget to check out my tutorial with the Semi-Sweet palette.